A behaviorist just cuts right through all the mystery. They'd say, look, forget about trying to access some private inner world. If you want to understand someone's mind, just watch their actions. So in this view, when we talk about feelings, we're really just using shorthand for talking about observable behavior.
Yeah, this gets at that famous ghost in the machine idea, right? The machine is your body, and the ghost is this mysterious mind that's supposedly pulling all the levers. Behaviorism just says, nope, get rid of the ghost. Your mind isn't piloting your body. Your mind is your body's actions.
Okay, but you can probably already guess this theory runs into some challenges pretty fast.
Picture this. You've got an actor who is just unbelievable. They can mimic every single outward sign of being in excruciating pain. They're crying out, they're limping, they're grimacing. They do everything a person in real pain would do. But here's the kicker. On the inside, they feel absolutely nothing. Zilch.
And right there, that's the problem. See, if behaviorism is true, and pain is just pain behavior, then this actor must be in pain. But we know for a fact they aren't. This seems to prove that the inner feeling and the outer behavior are two different things, which is, well, it's a major blow to the theory.
But wait, the theory isn't dead in the water just yet. A philosopher named Gilbert Ryle came up with a much more sophisticated version of behaviorism to get around attacks just like this one.
Ryle's move was to say, hey, a mental state isn't a single action. It's a disposition, a tendency to behave in certain ways. Think of it like a glass being fragile. It's not shattering right this second, but we all know it would shatter if you dropped it. That's its disposition. For Ryle, a mental state is just like that. It's not what you are doing, but what you would do in all sorts of situations.
This completely reframes the problem, doesn't it? The actor's pain is just a short-term performance. A person with a genuine disposition to pain would act that way consistently over the long haul. They wouldn't just stop being in pain the second the director yells cut.
So Ryle argues the actor is only mimicking the surface behavior. If you, prick them with a pin when they weren't acting, their reaction would give the game away. Their behavior isn't a deep underlying pattern. So the theory survives, for now.
But then comes a much, much tougher challenge, designed by the philosopher Hilary Putnam.
Okay, so imagine an entire society of people, the super Spartans, who are conditioned from the moment they are born to never, and I mean never, show that they are in pain. It's the highest virtue in their entire culture.
And this part is absolutely critical. On the inside, they feel pain just like we do. They experience agony, they're screaming in their own minds, but they are just absolute masters of suppression. The inner mental state is 100% there.
On the outside, though, nothing. No wincing, no crying out, not even a change in their heart rate. They exhibit absolutely zero pain-related behavior.
And we're not talking about a short-term thing. This is their entire way of life. They have no disposition to show pain, even under the most extreme circumstances imaginable.
Now, we can see the real problem for Ryle's version of behaviorism. The super Spartans have the mental state of pain, but they have no disposition to behave as if they're in pain. This is a direct contradiction of the theory that a mental state is a behavioral disposition.
This thought experiment basically forces the behaviorist into a corner. They've got two pretty terrible options. One, they can say the Spartans aren't really in pain, which just seems absurd, right? The whole premise is that they feel agony. Or two, they can admit that a mental state like pain can exist completely independently of any behavior, which means giving up on behaviorism entirely.